everyone, I'm going to be showing you how I put together the free layered SVG for 3D or iron-on Nana's Little Pumpkins. For the supplies, you'll just need various colors of the cardstock. I used 80 pound, as well as the green mat, foam dots, and the weeding tool. So you're going to upload the design from Design Space. Go browse it and you're going to find the layered truck and bring in the SVG. Add a tag so you can find it later. Just click on it and insert the image. You can resize it to any size that you like. You'll notice that everything is grouped. So if you want to ungroup it, you can. Each layer, you can see the layers for the pumpkins, the layers for the truck. And just adjust the size by dragging the corner. And then you can go ahead and make it. I like to do this when I bring in a project to just check out my mats first. So to see if I need to move any of them around. Sometimes the colors are different just so that you can see something, but not necessarily that you want to cut it that color. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it and show you how to do the slicing for any words that you want to put on the tailgate. And you notice I put a white behind it. You can also change that color if you like. It's just so that the words will pop. So I'm just ungrouping the pumpkins now as well, just to pull off that top layer, so that I can put words in it if I want to. In my design, you'll see that these two darker pumpkins, I didn't put words on it, so I just made them darker and had them in the background. So you just choose the text tool and type in whatever you want. Some cute ones, happy fall y'all, Nana's Little Pumpkins, Mom's Little Pumpkins, Grandma's Little Pumpkins. You can type in anything that you like and change the font to anything that you like. I'm using Jacoby Black. It cuts very nicely. So I just searched in that little box and it came up. And then you can resize it. If you unlock, see the little lock button there, if you unlock that, then you can make it bigger, wider, different dimensions. If it's locked, then it stays, I guess it's called relatively the same. So I just used the magnifying glass to zoom in, zoom out so I could see better. So I'm just sizing that inside of the little tailgate, and then I'll select both of those and do a slice. And then move the tailgate and you'll see that that slice part, I'll just delete that. So I'll go ahead and do the pumpkins now. I'm just going to put child 1, 2, and 3 so you can see how this works. So you'll drag it over to the pumpkin. Obviously it's too big, so I'm going to resize it. And then I'll also rotate it just a little bit to fit inside the pumpkin. the way that I like it. And then I'll go ahead and slice it. And then delete the extra slices. So that's basically all you need to do. And you don't have to put them back because you know they'll cut on the mats according to color. But this is just to get an idea of how they'll look. For the ones that you don't want to cut, if you just select it and then click on the little eyeball off to the right, it won't cut them. So here I decided just to make a couple extra pumpkins. Because I was going to put them down at the bottom by the wheels when I'm done. So it's just a matter of duplicating the little pumpkins. Then you'll go ahead and make it and check the mats again. So you can see I have Banana's little pumpkins there now. And then the other pumpkins have the child 1 and child 2 already cut out. And then these are just the rest of the layers of the pumpkins. If you're going to do this and cut it out for iron-on, you would want a mirror, but for layered pumpkins, you do not have to mirror. So here I'm just showing you all the different parts of the pumpkins. It has the leaves for each of the pumpkins and the layers, different layers. So that's the back part that has the stem on it. The truck has 3 different layers. It has the full truck in the back, the black for the tires, and then the red for the top, and there's a window, and then the tailgate. So there's quite a few layers in this truck, and it was to make it more dimensional to actually pop out like a truck with the bed coming out further. So for anything that you don't want to cut, you can just simply hide the design. So here I was just playing around with it to see how I wanted to do this, if I wanted to do this for an iron-on. And then I decided to go ahead and do a flat file just for the iron-on, so it wasn't necessary to do all this work to do a t-shirt. But you get the idea of how you can choose things and choose to cut them or not cut them by hiding the little eyeball, by clicking on the little eyeball, so that you can see the layers and cut them or not cut them. The two little dots that you see are the headlights, and I did them an off gray because I couldn't see them when I was designing. So you may want to change those to white, or when you're cutting, then you'll just move them to the white mat and they'll all cut on the white paper. So you don't have to use the little white background. So I was looking at this to decide if I wanted to use the white background for an HTV, and I think it pops better with the white behind it. So I'm leaving this in the video just to show you all the different things that you can do when you receive a file. You don't have to do it exactly how they have it. You have many options to hide stuff, add stuff, duplicate stuff. And create it for an HTV and not just a layered design. So that's pretty much all there is to that, and then you'll just go ahead and cut the whole design. So once you get everything cut, you'll have plenty to do, plenty of pumpkins and plenty of layers, and you can use whatever you like. I'm just showing you now how I put together all the layers. This little red part right here is the back window of the truck. What's kind of cool about this truck is it is pretty dimensional, so when you have your dimensional pumpkin stuck in the back, the truck actually pops out. It's kind of hard to tell in the video and in pictures, but it does look like the back of a truck actually. So I'm pointing out the little dots that come from the inside the letters, but what I like to do and is easier to do is just to draw in the little dots. And you'll see that in just a second. I'll use a Sharpie. And there you go. Easy peasy. So I like these foam dots that I bought, and I'll put all the links to the supplies in the description down below, and they're in the blog post at craftroomtime.com. They have different sizes on them, and they're good and sturdy and thick, so they work really well with these layered designs. So now you can see that the truck is going to start to pop. And what I did to make these stand out a little bit further, because the pumpkins are going to actually go behind this layer, is I stuck 2 foam dots together, and I probably could have done 3, even more, to make it stick out, to hold all the pumpkins behind it, just like the back of a truck. So when you get the design, you're not going to have words in it, obviously, so you will choose your own text. And if you go to the blog post, I show you how to do that, how to slice it out of the pumpkins. And you can make as many pumpkins as you want. There's extra pumpkins that you can, when you put this on a board or something, you can have extra pumpkins down by the wheels. So the stems cut out and the little leaves cut out as well. So you can do those dimensional if you want. I decided just to do the leaves, not the stems. The stems are very small, so it just wasn't needed. And then I added some extra ones without names on it to give it dimension. The ones that don't have names on it, I did them in a darker orange cardstock so that they would look like they're more in the back of the truck. You'll see in a second. So you can see how I'm putting the leaf on the top of the pumpkin and then just attaching it to the back layer. And I do that for all the different pumpkins. I think this was one of my funnest designs to make and to put together. So once you have all the pumpkins put together, you'll stick them in back of that last red panel of the truck, and you can see here how they fit inside there, and just get them to where you like them, and then just stick them down with more dots. You can't tell here, you can't tell the dimensions very well, but it works. It looks really cute. So now I'm going to show you how to do the iron on. You're just going to go in and upload the image, and this one's going to be the flat truck. It doesn't have as many layers as the layered truck, so pick the flat truck SVG and bring it in. Go ahead and tag it and insert the image. And size it accordingly. So if you want to go ahead and add your words and everything, now is when you'll do this. Ungroup it if it is grouped. The pumpkins have a white slice behind them. So if you want to slice out the words, then you'll have a white one behind. But if you want your t-shirt to show through, you certainly don't have to cut the white. And the same with the red. You could cut the tailgate out so that your shirt color will shine through. So here you'll just go ahead and you'll do the text like we did before. Select your font. Resize it. Rotate it. And then you'll just select both of those and slice and get rid of the extra sliced out part. And then see how it'll sit on top of the white. And do the same thing for each pumpkin that you want to put a name in. So they're grouped, so you have to ungroup them. And here I'm just messing around because once you ungroup them, the focus becomes on the most dominant object in front. So you'll have to arrange to bring the other one to the front again. And then just slice it out. You have two layers when you slice something, so you just get rid of both the layers, and now it'll go sit on top of the white. Now with the flat one, you'll have one each of the stem and the leaves, so you can cut those. And I'm just bringing it to the front again as well. So that tailgate is meant to go on top of the white with the text, but I know sometimes people don't like to layer a lot of vinyl, so like I said, you can slice that piece out, and I'll show you in a little bit. I think I do that. This looks a little too small, so I'm just going to go ahead and do an enter inside right after grandma's and put little pumpkins on the second line. And then I'll center it. Make it bigger. And then slice it out. So when it sits on top of the white vinyl, you can see that very well. So you would, when you layer these on your shirt, you would do the pumpkins on top of the red, but see how I'm moving it around and it's kind of showing the child through the pumpkin. So that's why I kind of think you may need to do the white behind it. Again, depending on what color shirt you choose as well. When I do the HTVs, I don't like to have a lot of vinyl. I just think it looks better and it adheres better when you don't have a lot of layers of the vinyls. So the back window is not there as well. If you want the window and everything, you can certainly use the layered one and just pick and choose what you want on your shirt. So here I'm just playing around with it, trying to decide how best it would look and if I want the white layers or not, just to give you an idea. So the reason that you're not seeing the white is because the white went to the back, so you got to bring it forward. So sometimes it's easier when you're doing these projects and you have all these little pieces and stuff to go ahead and group them. So when you're moving them around, you don't have to do all this arranging front and back and front and everything like that. So that's kind of the reason why they have the group tool. Makes it much easier when you have a lot of layers for sure. And not that it matters, it's just a preference. And see, this is where I decided I don't need the white ones behind those because I don't have words on those, so I'm not going to cut them. So here I was just trying to decide if, you know, if everything looked good and was in the right place and everything. Again, not that it matters because when you cut it, they're all separate pieces anyways, but if this was what I wanted for my t-shirt, just put it all together. So when I decided not to cut these, all I'm doing is hitting the little eyeball and they disappear. If you delete them, they'll also be gone, but if you ever want to bring them back, then it's kind of a pain. So just hit the little eyeball and they will disappear and won't cut, but they'll still be there for future projects. So here is where I'm deciding to slice out that piece, thinking that if I put this on a white t-shirt, I really won't need that white layer. I mean, even if I put it on a brown t-shirt or something like that, you know, it may work out okay. It's all just trial and error till you finally get it where you want it. I'm just trying to bring the pumpkins forward at this point. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth. See, and now you can see I don't need that extra layer of white behind that. That white pumpkin is back there. It's just not arranged to the front. And I was just trying to get this so that I could show you how it would look, but it is what it is. It'll cut properly, and you'll certainly iron it on properly. So here I'm just trying to show you, like, if you used this on a gray t-shirt, what it would look like. Your grandma's little pumpkins would be showing through the gray, but your white pumpkin behind the child's now still are white because you'll have a white layer of HTV behind them. So if you take the white pumpkin off and you decide not to cut the white pumpkin, then this is what it would look like. So I'm just going to delete that. That was just a test to show you like what it would look like with that color of a t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the mats, and you'll see the two little dots. They were the headlights. So I just need to change the color to white or move it to another mat. I'm decided not to cut something. So on the mat, you can see that you can select up in the upper corner to hide or change the mat. Now, I did have these so that you could cut extra leaves and extra the stump part. But they were so little after I did it, I decided that I didn't want to cut them at all. So you can hide them in the future, or you can go ahead and cut them. Always remember to save your project. I don't know how many times I've lost my project because I forgot to save. So I try to save it definitely before I make it, and maybe once in a while during the project. And that's it for that part of the iron-on process. So I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to check out the blog at craftroomtime.com so you can get the files, and like and subscribe. I can't wait to be crafting with you next time.